Have you ever heard of Unknown 9? Well, let me tell you a bit about it. It's gonna be the next big thing. Unknown 9 is gonna be the wokest, DUI infested, sweet baby ink supported thing ever. It is gonna be pure madness. It's gonna make things like Dustborn, Starfield, Ubisoft, and all of these things look like they are full of testosterone and made by the manliest men around. That's how big Unknown 8 is gonna be. I mean, 9. What's the difference, honestly? But yeah, it is gonna be something special. So I'll let mommy explain it to you.
Nearly every single game Sweet Baby Ink touches turns to trash, and it doesn't look like it's going to be much different with Unknown 9 Awakening. It is a game that has an amazing lead actress that looks terrible within the title. The gameplay looks uninspired.
That's my favorite. They get a real actress that looks good, and then they make her as ugly as possible and say, well, the character looks like this because in reality people don't look as good as that. But you made it off of a person who looks like that. What do you mean? It is beautiful. It is the first sign of absolute brain rot.
It truly just looks like a very mediocre game. And now that we're less than a week away from launch, it is doing terribly when it comes to the teasers and trailers that are getting ratioed, and apparently the pre orders are abysmal. I have a few different
Obviously, because people are starting to become pretty attuned to what's happening.
things to show off, but before
And also, Biden ruined the economy not just for America, but the whole world, so there's also that.
I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, this was a game that was announced a couple of years ago, and people were actually relatively excited for it, but this is a major problem in the games industry right now. It was initially unveiled 4 years ago. Games change a lot within 4 years, and that is why I always stay skeptical when I see teasers and trailers, because I do not care about a game that you're announcing now that isn't going to be releasing for another half a freaking decade. Like, that's just ridiculous in my
I never understood why they even make announcements like this for unknown, no one cares type of deals in the first place. It seems so unnecessary.
my opinion, especially when the teasers and trailers now are primarily highlighting cinematics because they know that the gameplay is not going to sit well with people. And that is exactly what has happened. Unknown Nine Awakening, from the get go, when they
God, just to look at this. This is already. Hello? Can I speak to the manager? And I also want a they them manager, not a he him manager. I'm a Z Zayer, by the way, just so you know. It's on my pin next to the rainbow flag pin. My child is trans, just so you know. And it was fully their choice, obviously.
actually announced the release date, and they showed off the fact that they had Anya Carlotta, who of course was Yennefer in The Witcher, in it. People have been skeptical, and it's sad, right? Because she's a very good actress, at least in my opinion, and I'd love to see her in a decent video game. But not only did they butcher her model in game, we now know, of course, that they worked with Sweet Baby
Well, they didn't butcher it, they made it better, more suitable for the modern audience. All five people love them.
Inc., who is a plague on the industry right now, and every single SBI game turns to trash. It's just not a
Agreed.
winning strategy because there are hundreds of thousands to millions of gamers who are boycotting the company. And now, Unknown Nine Awakening is their next victim because as you can see, most recent cinema
By the way, how successful are these boycotts of things? Well, let me put it into perspective for you, okay? If a really good game is supposed to sell 10 million copies, and that is a ginormous number, by the way, on average, 10 million copies sold is wow, this is a one in a lifetime event for most companies, if it even ever happens. The typical game of a AAA quality that is very well known and liked is roughly expected to sell around 4 to 5 million copies. So the average game by a AAA company that's not very well known is roughly in the ballpark of 2 to 3 million copies, maybe. Maybe. If the word of mouth is average, maybe that. Who knows, right? Something around that. So, what does it tell you that potentially a million people are being against this because of Sweet Baby Inc. being in cahoots with that? And now these potential million people that could be buyers of your game are not now gonna buy it. That is a huge, huge, huge chunk. A million people is not a lot in the global stage, but it is a lot for a game sales. And potentially having a million people not buy your game out of sheer principle, that is devastating.
Cinematic launch trailer has been unveiled to a massive ratio. It's sitting at 34,000 views in one day, which is insanely low given this is on the official PlayStation YouTube account and it's got nearly
True.
16 million subscribers. So you would think it would have at least 100K, but it's sitting at 1.5K likes to 4.3K dislikes, over 500 comments, and most of them are negative, saying Forspoken to Electric Boogaloo. That's what everyone wanted, right? Unknown Nine, the modern
Much spoken to electric. That's pretty good. That, that's pretty good. Not gonna lie. That got chuckled. That's a good one.
audience. How can you hate on Sweet Baby Inc. when they're going to save you so much money? Thank you, Cabrutus, Grums, and Endymion for helping me save money. Who knows? Maybe it will beat Dustborn's 72 people player count. I don't think that
It is gonna be the next Dustborn. It's gonna be beautiful.
that's even going to happen, to be honest. But when you are, releasing a trailer for something, right? I like to see the cinematics. Don't get me wrong. I love to see these beautiful visuals and I love to see parts of a story and getting a little bit of knowledge into a character and kind of what she's doing. But on the flip side,
That is important.
I am not sitting here buying a movie. I am buying a video game. Therefore, what
Yep. A good trailer should have a mix of a little bit of cinematic, gameplay, and stuff like that. Some combat, some, upgrades, some systems, some things like that.
matters the most to me is the actual gameplay and the platforming and how movement works and all of your different abilities. Like, there are so many different things that you could highlight in a trailer to make me significantly more hyped. And they're not doing that because the gameplay trailer that they had released only a month ago got absolutely downvoted to oblivion. And that is just not
The funny part is these companies that succumb to the illness of mind, they know the people releasing this crap know that they need to hide this. Okay, Throne and Liberty, before it got released, they did such a the marketing team did such a huge monumental job trying to pretend that the game actually has combat with movement, because when Throne and Liberty was supposed to first released, they actually didn't have the ability to move and do combat, which was insane, needless to say, right? And the marketing team tried to hide that. So people know that these are going to be disasters. When Starfield was about release, they literally snipped 0.5 second combat segments in videos and so on, and even then it was shit and it was visible. Okay, these people understand that the game is bad and that they need the best that they can do to hide it. And well, they do a good job at it, at least in some way.
not a good look for them. And clearly, gamers are not particularly hyped with this at all whatsoever because we know that Sweet Baby Inc.'s affiliated because it genuinely looks terrible. It just seems like a mediocre experience. As
Yeah, it's like, look at this, look at this. It just, you look at the character and you just don't like her instantaneously off the bat. No consideration. You just feel that you don't want to attach yourself to this person no matter what. It's kind of crazy. Good job.
As you can see, Reflector Entertainment and Bandai Namco's Unknown Nine Awakening was added to the Sweet Baby Inc. detected list a couple of months ago. We know that it was confirmed because David Bedard, who of course is one of the co-founders, and Kim Belair, the other co-founder, is credited in the credits section, right?
Nice.
It does mention them by name. It does highlight the fact that they worked on this. So while Sweet Baby Inc. as a entity in totality does not seem to be credited, at least yet, we won't know for a few more days until we have the full game credits when it actually releases.
Dude, look at how nice mommy's ads are. My ads on all of these sites are just butt plugs because I buy them for women because I think it's a great gift, and it is. But back to the point, man. I wish I could have norm. The last time I had a normal ad on the side of on this side of anything that I checked, I think it was for a new refrigerator, and that's pretty much it, which is the most sus thing ever, because how the hell did they get that information? I don't know. The thing was not bought online or even Googled. So what kind of brainwaves they detected, don't know, but they somehow knew that I needed a refrigerator.
But it wouldn't be particularly shocking. And because those two are credited, it's basically a guarantee that Sweet Baby, of course, touched it because Kim Belair is a consultant, David Bedard is a consultant. Like, even though they're not putting the Sweet Baby Inc. name out there in the public, it's clear as
It's
day that
enough.
these entities did dig their claws into it, which is definitely a red flag. I mean, look at this gameplay, right? Look at that. That
What is this? This looks bad.
just looks terrible. In my
Yep.
opinion, it looks so low quality. So it's not even like we're getting an amazing technical experience. We're not getting extremely fluid, amazing looking
We're getting a lot of Where's the Manager experience here, okay? It's fine.
combat and visuals. The game, from head to toe, seems terrible. The only saving grace was Anya Carlotta as Haruna, and they butchered her model within the video game. I mean, look at this. She is an absolutely gorgeous woman, at least in my opinion. I think
This is so unlikable. Well, not gonna lie, I actually don't like her in real life also that much. Not my type. But at least she's not throwable in the trash bin type of situation. But this kinda is.
she looks fantastic. She's definitely very feminine and pretty. And this is the best that they could come up with within this game. And then the concept art, it just is like they
The concept art is even better. Oh my lord.
wanted to butcher her. Why would you hire a beautiful woman like this and then completely twist around her features and make her unrecognizable? Like, it's so insulting to her and also gamers. But to top all of that off, we had heard not even that long ago that the Sweet Baby Inc. Infected game reportedly had poor pre-orders and atrocious Steam wishlist ranking. I did talk about this in another video, but we did see that yes, in fact,
Makes sense, if you ask me. Makes perfect sense.
it's not going particularly well for them. According to YouTuber Dr. Disaster, he shared that his retail source, who manages 9 stores, has not had a single pre order for the game, and to top all of that off, it was in the 390th position for most wishlisted Steam games and was sitting in the 3,092nd spot on the top sellers list. So, overall, a freaking nightmare for them. Now, if they had
Damn.
actually created something decent here, I could see people lining up to play it. Visually, Forspoken was solid. It was just the story that was a major problem, the agendas
Cringe.
that they throw in your face, the
Yeah,
terrible
cringe.
writing. It was not story-wise a game.
Dude, Forspoken was literally designed by someone from Gen Z or someone imitating Gen Z, and you know that that's not a long-term plan of success.
That anyone wanted to spend their money on, but visually it was extremely attractive, and same goes for Unknown 9 Awakening. Visually, the cinematics were very appealing and drew people in, but once we found out that they were working with Sweet Baby Inc., once we saw the actual gameplay and the low
Oh, by the way, remember, boys, A game not showing any gameplay but just cinematics is an automatic red flag, and a big one at that.
Quality that the visuals were when you're outside of those cinematics were revealed, people instantly were turned off from this game. So, of course, when it comes to the launch, maybe it'll be a banger for them. Maybe it'll sell a lot. But judging by all of the evidence we have so far, it is going to be another sweet baby disaster. And I can't say I'm particularly shocked
Beautiful.
given gamers are willing to speak with their
Well, no one's shocked about that one, mommy. I mean, very dark. Anyway, that was a 10 out of 10. Love you. Be my wife. Have a nice day. Bye bye.